Derrick Henry signs a 4-year deal. The Washington Redskins name is no more. And what happens to the fantasy football season if there is no NFL season? All this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast, sponsored by Football, Darts, and Fantasy Sports Alliance. Let's see who's out there right now. Jenna's on with us. Jenna jumped on quick. Jenna, how are you? Tell Taylor I said hello and that I love him. Let's see who else is out there tonight. Sorry, that seemed like that went a little out, didn't it? Well, we'll just wait. It says we got 10 people live. If you're out there, say hey to us. MJ's out there. Say hey. Hello, MJ. How is the moving going? Is everything going well? Damien says, let's go. Hope all is well. All is pretty well. Work has been crazy busy, which is why we were not here last week, so we apologize for skipping a week. Guess the biggest news that we probably mentioned, or we forgot, or didn't get to mention last week, was the big $500,000 contract by, $500 million contract by Patrick Mahomes. Jason on with us. Jay, how are you? Good shirt and hat combo. Appreciate it, Eric. Yeah, I thought about what I was going to wear tonight, and I was going to put on the jersey. Just didn't feel like it. And then I was like, you know what? The colors would go pretty good with this tonight. So let's go ahead and put this on. Sean went on with us as well. Damian Gratz on with us. Louie on with us. Heather's on with us. Josh on with us. How is everybody tonight? Hey, before we get too deep into this, we got to tell you about our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. Unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgates, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. Kevin on with us as well. Kevin, how are you? So, as always, we're going to hit our empty wagon spot for the week. So the guys did not do a show last week. Eric and Joshua are both on with us. Eric's back was really, really bad. And Brad, the other piece of the trio of the three of them, was on the flight line in Alaska getting jets ready to fly. How cool is that? So the guys were unable to do a show last week. However, and of course they needed a break just like we all do. If you would like to listen to their podcast, go out and search Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast wherever you find your podcast. And then also go out and find them on all of their social media at Empty Wagon FF, and go to their website, www.emptywagonff.com. Did I say enough W's? Feels like it wasn't enough W's. And there are some new things that are coming out of the Empty Wagon camp here very soon. So make sure you keep your ears open for whatever those might be. Very excited to hear what those are going to be when they come out. Yeah, I definitely missed Empty Wagon this week too, MJ. So I woke up, it's been a couple of weeks. I've probably not got around to listen to the guys until Tuesday. On Monday, I got up ready to listen to them. But I had already talked to the guys the night before, and I knew they weren't going to have a show because Brad had been out on the flight line. And Eric, man, he looked like he was in a lot of pain when we talked. So they definitely needed a break. They deserve a break, so good on them from taking the week off. Eric says, currently stretching as I watch, should be ready to go this week. Good, I hope so. Looking forward to hearing you guys again. Brandon on with us as well. Brandon, how are you? Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans this week so far, Brandon. I really, really do appreciate you. All right, so if you like this show tonight, please subscribe, share, find us on... I'm not looking at there, right there. Find us on all of those things that are down there. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. Make sure you go out and find us on all of those. Yeah, please do. Go out and do that and like us all. So, hey, we're going to do something. We're going to change up the order of the show this week a little bit. We're going to go straight into some NFL news. So you heard at the top of the show, we talked about Derrick Henry signing a contract today. That contract is for 4 years, $50 million, with $25.5 million of that guaranteed. So nice paycheck for Derrick Henry. So I think him and Tannehill are now getting paid on that team, so I don't know what that leaves left to be spread around. A couple young wide receivers on that team, so sometime soon they're going to be wanting to get paid if they're going to stay with the team after their rookie deals are over. So I don't know if Tennessee's in the mindset of win now, but they sure are spending a lot of money on a very few number of players. Myles Garrett signed extension. Don't know if I really care. It's hard to say. He doesn't get me any points in fantasy unless I've got his defense. And I don't really care for that defense. So there we go. But Jason does because Jason is a fan. So, but thank you for the nugget, Jason. I really do appreciate that. So some other NFL news that we also mentioned at the top of the show. So, you have heard probably this week that the Redskins have decided that they are finally going to retire the name Redskins, and I think the official retirement was yesterday, I think. Now we're just waiting on the announcement of what the new team name is going to be, maybe even a possible new branding. I think maybe there might be a new logo to go along with it. I can't see them really changing away from the maroon and gold. Maroon and yellow colors, though, has been the tradition forever and ever and ever. So just waiting to see what that new team name is going to be. There has been a lot of speculation of what that team name could be. However, I think the problem that the Redskins are having in naming that new one is there was a leakage of all of these different possible names that the Redskins could be going with. And some realtor up in the D.C. area decided to trademark all of the names that he thought the Redskins could go with, and I don't know if that's a true story or not, but it's being passed around social media quite a bit. And as a guy who's got a trademark now, I know how much money that costs to have a name, and with a list of names that this guy trademarked, he's got a couple $1,000s wrapped up in these trademarks, and I think he's hoping that one of them pays off for him. So how cool would that be if that actually worked out for him? Sean says A.J. Brown will be the next big thing out of Tennessee. You mean out like as if he will be out of Tennessee? Damian says all in for the year. Titans and Ravens have the best chance to beat the Chiefs in the pursuit of a Super Bowl. I'd say you're probably correct as well. So, hey, we're going to switch over and talk about membership. And in conjunction with that, we're going to talk about what happens if the NFL doesn't have a season. You know, we're hoping that's not the case at all, but just in case it does happen. So because of the uncertainty of the NFL season, we have extended our membership window to 16 August. Some of you probably knew that we were going to cap it or close it out on 31 July. We have decided to go ahead and push that to the right. I looked to see how far to the right we could push that and still be able to maintain all of the things that we normally do every season, to include the draft selection shows like we did for all the dynasties. We're going to do it up a little bit bigger for the redrafts this year as well. Make sure that gives you all a chance to mock draft for about a week before we do the actual draft. And then we also wanted to make sure that we held the draft the week before Labor Day this year, so we don't affect anybody's family reunions or anything else people might do on Labor Day, even though I think a lot of people's Labor Days are going to get affected this year. So anyway, so here's the new hard dates for you to put on your calendar. So we're going to extend the membership window until 16 August. We will have the draft selection shows on the 22nd and 23rd of August. And the reason we're going to do it over 2 days is if we still reach our membership number, we're going to have 8 regions that we have to do that for the redraft. And then, of course, if you add in the QB54 Arm and Leg League in there for that draft selection as well, kind of try to split those up over a couple of days. And then the drafts will be held, and that's a Saturday and a Sunday. Then the drafts will be held on the 29th and 30th of August, which is also a Saturday and a Sunday. And that will allow us to facilitate a couple different days and times for drafts. The last couple of years, the date that we held it on affected another draft that I am involved in, and this year I think we are pushing that draft all the way until like a day or two before the season starts, so it will not affect me on that day. I've had to auto draft that league the last 2 years, so hopefully this year I won't have to do that. We just got to figure out what that schedule is going to look like. So it'll allow us to have a little bit of freedom of, depending on the region, if you guys want to draft on Saturday or Sunday. And especially when we have the difference of ranges of time zones, even inside some of those regions, and especially now that we have members in Australia, and then they're going to be playing in the Euro League, and then that Euro League might be combined with the New England League. So we're looking at multiple time zones that we might have to play around with that one. So it's probably good that we're going to stretch that over 2 days. So 16 August closeout membership, 22 and 23 draft selection shows, 29 and 30 August for the drafts. And then Damien says people will certainly be more willing to commit to leagues once they know the season is indeed going to happen. So let's talk about that for a second. Usually when we do the membership part, we talk about where the numbers are at. So the last couple of weeks, and this is me being completely transparent, the last couple of weeks when I've gave you all the numbers of where we're at, I've been adding in the people that I know have been playing with us for years and years and years, and they never miss playing with us. And these are the players that have been with us for at a minimum 6 or 7 years, and some of them haven't signed up. And some of these guys have been playing with us for 15 years now and haven't signed up yet. So I padded that number a little bit. So what I'm giving you the number right now is no pad whatsoever. This is right where we're at. Paid membership for the redraft is at 43 currently. The last couple of weeks, like I said, I've been padding that with about 17 because those are our regular players. Transparency completely, we were at 43 members right now. The QB Arm and Leg League, QB 54 Arm and Leg League currently has 16 members in it. So just to let you all know what we've got for numbers at the moment. Those are the numbers right now. We think they're low because people aren't sure what's going on with the season. Which is why we are pushing it all the way to the 16th of August. But let me tell you how some of the other football entities around the country are handling it right now. And all of these are from the college side of the house. There might be some nuggets taken from what colleges are doing and how that might change what the NFL is doing. Sean says, what about an Echo Dynasty? Sean, no. Here's what's happening at other football programs around the country right now. So some of you might have heard, I think I might have mentioned this either in a text message in GroupMe or maybe on the show 2 weeks ago, that Ivy League schools have canceled all fall sports. So that's one way that it's being handled. The Big Ten schools said that they will only play conference foes this year, which means those Mid-American schools that usually come in and play to get that big payday to help out their athletic programs in the schools, they're not getting that payday this year. And I don't know what that schedule is going to look like when the Big Ten only plays Big Ten teams. So I don't know if it's a reduced number of games or if they're going to add or have the same number of games they normally play, just play different people that they're not used to playing, or what would be on their schedule for Big Ten this year. So that's another way to look at it. And then we had Bob Reddick came out on GroupMe the other day and said junior colleges are moving football to the spring. So they're still going to have some fall practices. Then they're going to hold off until March of 2021. They're going to pick up practices again. Then at the end of March, they're going to start playing their games, and then they're going to play a reduced schedule of only 7 games. That's an interesting way of handling it as well. So just to kind of let you all know what other entities are doing right now. Bill says the Zulu fantasy is Zulu Dynasty full yet. After that, so do we go alpha after Zulu? I will honestly say, and this is me forward looking to however many years away that Zulu might be, I think we really are going to probably cap at Zulu if we reach that number. If we can reach 26 dynasty leagues with 12 members in each one of them, I think I'd be super happy with that. I don't know that we would go anything beyond that. I'm pretty happy with that. And Bill, since you're on, I got a question for you. I received 2 memberships from you for the Arm and Leg League. I don't know if that was a mistake, if you pushed the button twice, if you were filling it out once for yourself and once for your dad, or what that was. So let me know what that was about. It's the first time I got a chance to see you on since I saw that happen. So let me know what that's about. So let's go back to the topic at the beginning of the show. What happens if the NFL does not have the season? What does that look like for fantasy for us? Well, from the FSA side of the house, we got 2 options. Here's what we're going to do. Either you can go ahead and keep the money in the FSA funds, and that will guarantee you a spot for 2021. Or if you ask and would like to have your funds back we are more than happy to go ahead and refund your funds for you. And that comes for the redraft leagues. For the Dynasty guys, you're stuck. I'm sorry. Money's already in there. The teams have already been drafted. We're holding on to the teams from this year and the next year, even if we don't have a league. So the money is stuck in there. So I hope that's okay with you all. But for the redraft, if you would like to have your money back, let me know. If you just want us to hold on to it until 2021, we will do that as well. Athena on with us as well. Athena, how are you? Good evening. We mentioned the QB54 Arm and Leg League, and there might be a couple new people out there that do not know what that is. If you don't know what QB54 Arm and Leg League is, it is a league that we started this year that has nothing but quarterbacks and kickers. And why is it called QB54? Because it's sponsored by QB54. What's QB54, you say? Well, it's this awesome backyard game. And they are going to give a set of what you're about to see on this video out to whoever wins the QB54 Arm and Leg League this year. And here is the commercial for it.
Play fair, play to win. Play QB54.
I see MJ out there, says to Sean that, watch out, Sean, she's been practicing. She must be talking about practicing the QB54. In case you all missed it, we actually had a little bit of a fall get-together last year. Sean and MJ came in from out of town from over in the Atlanta area, and we had a couple people from on base that play with us as well. We all got together at the old NCO club here on Fort Gordon, where we had TVs all around us to be able to watch, and MJ brought some food for us. It was a really good time. We had the QB54 chairs out there. Got those out and play with them a little bit. That was a lot of fun. So you got to see what it is. So if you haven't signed up for the QB54 Arm and Leg League yet, that is what you were playing for, along with cash. Sign up. It's super cheap. Won't cost you an arm and a leg. $10. You can do that through the website. Just let us know if you're interested, and we'll hook you up with that. So that really ends the formal portion of the show tonight. I was going to open it up to see if anybody had any Q&A about anything, stuff that's going on in FSA, things that are going on in NFL, things that are going on in other sports. Just wanted to BS about anything. Let you know that we will be back next week. We won't take next week off. We are getting closer and closer to the membership deadline, even though we have moved it to the right. So we'll want to make sure that we keep these shows constant as we're going into that membership so we can continue to push it. If you're a regular member and you have not signed up yet for the year and you're questioning whether you want to or not, the two options are still out there. You could still sign up now if you want to make sure that you guarantee yourself a slot. And then if the season doesn't happen, we'll give you the money back. Or if you want, go ahead and sign up now. The money will carry over into 2021 and it'll be there for you. So if you're kind of hesitant about it, go ahead and do it. It's not going to hurt you one way or another. It's all going to work out for you. Sean says he has not been practicing. I'm trying to remember how, and I don't want to sound really snooty when I say this, Sean, but how bad did I beat you last year? So we will be back next week. So it's 21 July. I don't know if Brian Lewis is out there right now or if Brian might watch this later. Maybe he might be listening to this on his drive into work tomorrow on his car speakers. He had asked the other day, we have been setting up a lot of Squad Locker stores for our members who have been asking for it. So whether it's the Redraft League or the Dynasty League, quite a few people have been asking for us to set up a Squad Locker store. So we have been. MJ, I still owe you 2 stores. I got it. Sean, he's still interested in it. If you sent me the email, I will go back through my emails from you and look to see where it is. In fact, let me take a note of it right now. Also, Chris, I don't know if you're out there or not. Chris, I owe you a logo. So let me mark both of these down. Sean's email, Chris logo, MJ Squad Locker ×2. Got it. All right, I got those on there. Oh, yeah, I definitely kicked your butt in QB54. So we've been doing all of those, and one of the questions, Brian Lewis, and he's general manager, been with us for a couple years. He's TDs and Beer out of the Great Lakes region. He said that when he sees the logos on the hats on the website, they look a little small. And Sean has had stuff done by Squad Locker. MJ's had stuff done by Squad Locker. I've had stuff done by Squad Locker. I think what we're seeing on the Squad Locker on their website, of course, it's just a digital image overlaid on something. Is probably why it looks small. So what I was going to do was, I've got a series of all of the hats that I own right here for all of our FSA teams that I have had gear made for. Except for Louis, I don't have your toboggan or your beanie. I don't have that one. I just have the regular build caps here. I did go and measure them. So, Brian, if you want to know what they are measuring, it looks like they don't go any bigger height or width-wise than 2¼ inches, which doesn't sound like a lot until you actually see it on the hat. So, this is the Monarchs hat, my own team. This is on the blue version of the hat, so you can see what the size looks like on the hat. All right, and that's 2¼ It is 2¼ tall, but not quite 2¼ wide because the logo's not set up for it to be wide. The same thing with the greenbacks. This is Rocky Bird's team. Same kind of thing. His is 2¼ tall, not quite as wide because the gorilla that's on there for the greenback isn't 2¼ inches. I've got Sean's here, the Naughty Dogs. His is 2¼ tall, not quite 2¼ wide because his is not set up to be 2¼ wide because it's taller than it is more wide. And then probably the one that is the most square, even though it is a round logo, is MJ's Southern Sirens. Hers is 2¼ by 2¼ So I think what they do is they really do build these logos in a square that could be 2¼ either direction, and then the rest of it is set up proportional to that. So you're getting to see what they look like on the hat. The sizes aren't bad. If you do that and look at that in comparison to what I had done with Walter a couple years ago, different machine, makes it slightly bigger. And then I think I said this to Brian as well. You also have to consider the type of machine that this is being done on. So different machines are going to do different things. It also depends on if that logo is done in 3D, if it's done in puffy, if it has some of the parts cut out of it to add to it. Such as when you get a New Era hat like this, where I've got the Patriots here, where it looks a little bit different, a little bit bigger. And then this is also a New Era hat. This is a different model, though. It's a 5950 hat, which is a fitted hat. And this is for the Augusta Green Jackets, which is the minor league baseball team that's here in town. So what I wanted to do is, these are just the hats that I have around me. I wanted to show you all those. I've got a couple other ones that are up here that I can grab within reach. This one is the AFC's hat from the Pro Bowl, whatever year that was. Jason, what year did we go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii together? Whatever year that was when I purchased this. I can't even remember what year that was anymore, if Jason's still out there. So this is their hat, and I think this is a New Era as well. It is. But you are still getting, like MJ says, you're still getting a great embroidered file onto your hats. If I can't, what we call simplify or dumb down the logo enough to be able to get it so it's embroidery worthy on Squad Locker's equipment, they will do it for us, which is very, very nice. But your full detailed images go fine on all of the rest of their gear. So no matter how crazy it might look, Kevin's logo comes to mind right now. His was the one that I was working on to try to simplify a little bit better so we could get it onto embroidery file type stuff. Ended up not doing it. Thanks, Kev. But yeah, when they come complicated like his is, you can keep that file as is. But when it's getting ready to go embroidered, you have to simplify it a little bit more. Was it before 2014? So I was there from 12 to 15, and I don't think I went the first year, so would have been 13 rolling into 14, maybe, depending on whenever they had it, because I can't remember if they were doing the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl or before the Super Bowl at that year. Can't really remember. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I wanted to make sure Brian Lewis knew that in case he is watching this later. Brian, if you're listening to it, make sure you pull off the side of the road and take a peek at it, or watch it a little bit later on when you get out of work so you can see the different size logos on there. Maybe we'll put a TDs and beer for you and put it on the Squad Locker store for you. Hey, don't forget we got a YouTube channel. We are really trying to build that YouTube channel up. We would like to be able to do some of our live broadcast over on the YouTube side, but we can't do that until we get at least 100 subscribers. Last time I checked, we were still sitting at 48. So if you're watching us right now, or if you have friends that are out there that might like to watch the show, heck, I don't even care if they watch the show. Just have them go over, subscribe, and shut the alerts off. But we need to get that number up to 100. So please go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Brandon's been doing a great job of making sure that we get all the videos up there. I think we've got 2 more and then this show that we're doing right now that need to go up, so there'll be a total of 3. But yeah, please go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you to all of our sponsors for the 2020 season. Those that include the Cranky Veteran Candle Company, QB54, Finger Lakes Mercantile, which is Brandon's company, Nature Coast Tailgating, which is sponsoring the World Bowl this year, Southern Sugar Scrub, MJ's on with us right now, Football Darts and Jonathan Davies, Deep South Creations and Brandon Prince, and of course the Recast, who are the official music of the FSA, and you get to hear them every single week that we're on. During our intro, you get to hear a piece of one of the songs off the new album. And that is it. Oh, they're already up? Brandon, thank you. I appreciate it. So Brandon's got the last 2 videos up. Buddy, thank you. Appreciate it. So the only one that needs to go up is this one. And it all depends on how long it takes for me to move it over, because I'm really bad about moving these files over for him. He beats me up about it at least daily. So we'll see if we can't get this thing pushed over quicker than normal. But before I do that, I definitely owe Chris Simpson a logo that I've been promising him for about 2 weeks, and I will send that over to you, Chris, as soon as we get done. Thank you for watching the Fanatically Real broadcast, sponsored by Football Darts and Fantasy Sports Alliance. If you like the show, again, all the social media icons there across the bottom. Make sure you go follow us on all of those. Go over to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to it. And we will see you next week on the 22nd. And then don't forget, membership has been pushed until 16 August. Make sure you get signed up for the redraft and the QB54 Arm and Leg League. Thank you all for a great night, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you back here next week.